And we are live. Good evening, everyone. It is Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, back on Monday, the 3rd of August, as I do every Monday at 6 p.m. in the UK with my regular Bitcoin show. Welcome to the show, everyone. It is great to be here, as always. And as always, Strong Bitcoin Hand is the name of the game on this channel. In fact, the other name of the game is buy your Bitcoin, get it off an exchange onto a hardware device. I recommend Trezor, and then do nothing and enjoy your life. You'll hear me say that time and time and time again. But the hardest things people find to do is to just hold and do nothing. They feel they need to do nothing with it. So it is great to be with you all. Now, as you'll notice, this is a premiere. I love being live with you all in the chat and interacting with you, but unfortunately we're on a road trip right now, and hopefully Elaine, myself, or one of us, or both of us, is in the chat with you right now. But I've had to do a recording on Sunday because we have got a long road trip for a family funeral on Tuesday late morning, and I didn't want to navigate one of the most awful motorways in the world, the M25, during rush hour at the crack of dawn to try and get there Tuesday, so we've gone the day before. So this is a premiere, but please interact in the chat, and one of us will be in the chat interacting with you as well. So as you can see, the disclaimer says don't take anything I say as financial advice, because it is not meant as financial advice. It is just me sounding off. You can read it there. Quickly plug for the websites. ukbitcoinmaster.com is where you'll find every video I've ever done since I started live streaming in April 2018, and also Bitcoin Interviews is where you'll find all the live interviews I've done to date with what I believe to be some of the greatest thought leaders in the Bitcoin space currently. So do check them out. And finally, for those of you that want to drop a tip, you don't have to. All I ask is you share this out on social media. So please at least follow me on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master and tweet the show link out. You can also follow me on Parler, Crypto Parler as we call it, which is an alternative to Twitter. I'm over there as well, so do check me out over there. But if you do want to drop a tip, there you go. A lightning tip to tippin.me at /@ UK Bitcoin Master. So that is it. Remember, these show notes could be maybe around 24 hours or so out of date, because, as you know, I've had to record this on Sunday because Monday's a busy day. So forgive me if anything's changed radically from the information that I'm just about to share with you. Don't forget to pound the like button. Don't forget, if you're new here, to like the video, share, subscribe. Bash the bell button next to it and then click all notifications, and you'll be notified when I go live as well, and then you won't miss any of my live shows in the future. For those that are new to the channel, I go live every Monday and every Thursday at 1800 hours London time. Keep that one in mind if you're in a different country. So let's head on over to the desktop and see what's going on with the news. And I think, you know, without going into what the price is doing, I think it's worth putting this particular one up that talks about 1 billion liquidated as Bitcoin price crashes by $1.4 thousand in minutes. The reason I've put this up, you probably all heard about it now, is this is why I say on my channel, you must build that strong Bitcoin hand. Because if you can't handle the volatility, both up and down, then Bitcoin's not right for you. Because what gives it its uniqueness is the volatility that allows anyone to speculate and potentially make themselves some money. But if you're looking for long-term gains, you need to have a long-term plan. That is so important. So if you were watching the charts and you saw that massive red candle down and you started to freak out, you need to build your strong hand. Because if you zoom out, hold on, let's find where my cursor's just gone. If you zoom out and look at the overall Bitcoin chart, yet again, you'll see nothing to worry about. If you don't understand this, if you look over to the right, you'll see that last line shooting upwards. So what if it comes back down again? Ultimately, it will shoot up again, and you've got to learn how to manage that volatility. Why do you need to learn to manage the volatility? Because during a 4-year cycle, and we'll talk about that in a tweet a bit later, during a 4-year cycle, there is a boom, then there is a bust, then there tends to be sideways motion where nothing much seems to be happening. And I know from 2017, from the high, when it dropped down to 3K from 20, and then it stayed sideways for a couple of years in a what we call a bear market or a sideways market, down market, for want of a better word. It didn't bother me because I was waiting for the 2020 halving and then what might happen in late 2020 and through 2021. So if any of this is worrying you, that massive crash that we saw, look at this chart that shows that everything is cool, and then some of the articles I found that are all bullish towards a Bitcoin bull run. I found this one says Bitcoin looks structurally similar to the start of the rally to 20,000, which was in 2017. So did I highlight any text to read to you? Yeah, there was something I read here. It says, Bitcoin chart is structurally similar to the rally to 20K, which was 2017, says analyst. Disregarding the rally over the past 7 days, Bitcoin has effectively flatlined for the past 3 months around the 9K mark, which we know. Yet, according to a trader, the 1 month Heikin Ashi candles suggest that Bitcoin is in the early stages of another uptrend. So, you don't just magically shoot up. It happens over a period of time in an upward direction, but you get some pullbacks up. Pullbacks up. It's not a straight line up. That's called parabolic. And when Bitcoin goes parabolic eventually, you know we're getting near to the top, and it might be time, depending on your strategy, to take some profits before it crashes right back down again. So if you were involved in 2017 like I was, and you saw your Bitcoin that I purchased for about $1,900 go to 20K, and then pull all the way back down ultimately to just over 3K, if you can deal with that and stick through a 2-year bear market without worrying about it, without being concerned, your head's in the right place. And I'll come on to that as we talk about some of the tweets going forward. That's what you need to keep in mind if you are going to be a strong hand Bitcoiner. And several of these articles are along the same theme, which is an incredibly exciting thing. This one says Bitcoin's network activity is at its highest since 2017 as the bulls awaken. Did I highlight any text here? Yep, I did. Here we go. Let's get it all up so we can have a look at it. It says the robust market structure formed in the time since Bitcoin broke out of its macro consolidation phase isn't unwarranted, as the recent push higher has been driven by intense fundamental strength. The fundamentals of Bitcoin are as strong as houses. Doesn't matter what the price is doing up or down. The question is, are the fundamentals strong? It goes on to say one such factor that highlights this underlying strength is the crypto's network activity, which is currently sitting at the highest level seen in over 2.5 years. The economic backdrop that the cryptocurrency is currently trading against may also be creating a tailwind that is lifting it higher as the world is seeing record level money printing and low interest rates. This is causing hard assets like gold and Bitcoin to both see strong price action. So again, we're looking at another positive article that is intimating that Bitcoin's heading for a big run up. Now, we can't predict this. We don't have a crystal ball. But you know, it is a great feeling when the bulls start coming, when you've had a couple of years of the bears. And that's what I love about this. Even though I don't understand technical analysis, charts, I just understand and know that a green candle is something's going up and a red candle, something is going down. And if you can get your head around that, that is the basic principles here. Bitcoin indicator predicts massive bull run as in 2017. Here's another one. It says, within the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has continued the bullish trend of the last few days. Since its extended consolidation phase in July, the Bitcoin price has been rising continuously since the 20th of July 2020 and is currently at almost 11.6 at the time of writing. Now, I saw that it pitched above 12, just above for a few seconds, and then went all the way back down nearly, I think, to 10.4, which is a huge drop, and then it consolidated again. Do I care if it went to 9K? No, I don't, because I am in this for the long haul. Bearing in mind my age, my strategy, I'm looking forward to the I'm looking forward to 2024. That means I'll be 4 years older, but the 2024 halving is where my focus is. And then what happens at the end of 2024 and through 2025 is when I will reassess what I do with my Bitcoin, how I'm feeling as somebody in his mid-60s. You know, do I put a focus then maybe on the 2028 halving? Do I take some Bitcoin off the table and enjoy our retirement? What do I do? If that makes sense. Your strategy, if you're maybe 10 years younger than me, 20, 30, hey, even 40 years younger than me, is you should be focusing on nothing less than investing, dollar cost averaging, and putting your focus on the 2032 halving, which is 3 more halvings away from the one we've just had in May. And as the tweets will show coming up, don't miss these tweets. There is one that is really profound that you don't want to miss me discussing. So 11,640 at the time of writing. Thus, Bitcoin has recorded a plus of 4.4% within the last 24 hours, which is incredible. Since the beginning of the price outbreak, no major price correction has been recorded to date. The current market cap is over 200 billion. So again, without dissecting the article, that's for you to find it in the notes and read it. Everything, all the signs, Bitcoin is going in the right direction. Here we go again. This has happened for the last few shows. We've had one of them that took ages to load. Bitcoin breaks into a new 2020 high as on-chain data signals start of the main bull phase. It's much of a muchness. They're all saying something's going on. We are going to start a breakout. We don't know when. I don't know whether I even... Yeah, it says here... Today, Bitcoin made yet another 2020 high around 11.7, this one said, as the digital asset jumps another 5% on 2.5 billion. The leading digital asset has started a new month on a green note after ending July with over 23% positive returns. People, you won't even see that in 3 years in a bank savings account. So why would you want to put your money in a savings account that gives you no return when you could see, as it says here, 23% positive returns in a month? Now, you're not in it for a month. You are in it for the 4-year blocks you should be focusing on. The halvings every 4 years or thereabout, or every 210,000 Bitcoin blocks. The 210,000 block mine, then the reward gets cut in half, and we're currently on 6.25 Bitcoin mined every 10 minutes. That will then go to 3.1, I don't know what 0.25 is, but half of 6.25, and then in 4 years it halves again. So it's creating a scarcity aspect where people will start to realize there is not enough to go round. So this is all so bullish for Bitcoin, but you can't take anything I say as financial advice. I'm just pointing out that all the articles are leaning towards we're getting into a very exciting time within the Bitcoin space. Quick shout out, if I may, to Bitcoin to the Moon down in Australia. He's got some great merch. His merchandise link is in the notes below. He sent me a few t-shirts when I first got into Bitcoin, and since then I've met him when he came to the UK. We became what I refer to as great friends. I have met him, so I spent an afternoon with him. A lovely guy. Bitcoin to the Moon. So shout out to you. If you're in the chat on this premiere, shame on you, get some sleep, but I'm proud that you are in the chat. And if you're not and you're watching it up on catch up, my good friend down in Australia, shout out to Bitcoin to the Moon. So moving on, where are we? What else did I find? Okay, CoinFloor. Now I use Coinbase currently in the UK, and we all know what crypto Twitter is saying about delete Coinbase and Coinbase selling your information to the IRS in America. Da-di-da-di-da. Okay, so there's a big movement saying delete Coinbase. Right, here's my take on it. And we're all different and we're all entitled to our own opinions. I've had people shouting out at me, try WireX. So I looked into WireX, okay? And before I buy anything or do anything, I always look at the reviews. And the reviews on WireX, they were not mixed. There was tons of them saying, stay away from it. We've put our money in, we couldn't get it back. We didn't get our Bitcoin out, and stories like that. So I stepped away from WireX. Somebody shouted out CoinFloor in the UK. So I looked into CoinFloor and it all looked good. So I set up a CoinFloor account. Then when I went to set it up with my card, it refused my card. I've only got a bank card. I don't have credit cards. Apparently this bank card isn't linked, set up with what they call 3D. Maybe some of you know what that is. So it refused my card. Use another card. I don't want to use another card. I don't want to use credit cards. I want to use my bank card. My bank card says that money is in my bank. It is available, and they wouldn't let me use it. So CoinFloor have gone for me. I'm sorry. So for now, until something comes along, Swan Bitcoin, you need to come to Europe. I need to use Swan. Crypto company, dollar cost averaging, all automated. Swan, Brady, come to the UK. I'm waiting. So until then, I'm using Coinbase. End of. But I found this article because they're referring to the boomers. So what did I find to read? It says CoinFloor, the UK's longest running Bitcoin exchange, is working to convert a decidedly non-digital audience into the latest batch of hardcore hodlers, boomers. Now, if you don't know what baby boomers are, they're a group of babies born between 1946 and 1964. They're obviously after the World War II. There were a billion born worldwide, which today, let's call it a seventh or an eighth of the world, depending on if you think there's 7 billion or 8 billion. So they're a fair chunk of the world. And the boomers have shaped industries. A billion babies shaped the strained baby food industry. Toys, music, property boom, getting old and trying to stay healthy. And now boomers are looking at where they can put their investments. So it says here the exchange is capitalising on what it sees as a growing trend amongst this generation, which may be just as disheartened by the rampant stimulus action from the world's ingrained economies as the younger people are. Baby boomers now make up more than a fifth of all people who hold Bitcoin, the exchange noted in a release shared with Bitcoin magazine. Okay. Many have turned to Bitcoin in frustration over record low interest rates, stock market volatility, and the fear of inflation that must follow the massive QE or quantitative easing programs of recent times, all of which threaten to erode their hard-earned savings. We've been saying this over and over and over again. More and more people are realizing that putting their money into savings is worthless, so they're turning to metals. Gold and silver are pumping. But again, when you marry gold and silver and Bitcoin together, you can't take silver or gold through customs. You can't slice a corner off and pay someone. Bitcoin is divisible down to 100 million Satoshis. And we'll come on to that in a tweet in a moment. That's also profound, so stick around. Don't disappear when I start to plug my lovely friend Pastor Phil's cause. Stick around for those tweets because there's a couple that are really, really profound. So more and more people are now looking to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So that's a big group of us. And, you know, we are not all OGs and past it. I'm not. I've been into the technology rabbit hole for 15 or more years. I love tech. I love gadgets. I've got my built-in studio here with something we refer to as a Stream Deck. I don't know whether you can see that. That's a Stream Deck. It's got loads of buttons which I can click to change my scenes. I am into tech. Yeah? So other boomers are as well. And if they're not into tech, they're into preserving their wealth for future generations, and CoinFloor have seen this. So if I've got one reach out to CoinFloor, start accepting somebody's bank card, because there's nothing more legit than a debit card that says this money is at bank right now. That's my only gripe and why I won't use them. Okay, please hold with me. Quick interlude. Shout out to justlearnbitcoin.com and Dan. Don't know whether you're in the chat, Dan, but if you are, shout out for Dan down in Mexico. Rocky also works with Dan, does some work for him. Everything from wallet setup and backup, long-term storage solution, end-of-life planning, beautiful bracelets like the one I'm wearing with the B for Bitcoin on, vanity addresses. If you sent your coin to the wrong address, there may be a way to get it back. Sorry, people, I've got a tickle. There may be a way to get it back. Reach out to them. They've got all sorts of stuff on the site. You can see the bracelets, btcbracelets.com, 25% off. They've got great merchandise over there. Oh, sorry about that. Let's get rid of that. You can see everything from hoodies to beach towels to mugs to there's a new cloth face mask over there, look, with the Bitcoin logo on. So got some great stuff over there, well worth checking out. I want you to go back inside the homepage. I want you to scroll down and I want you to find this black box. And it says, please help return 14.2 Bitcoin to Phil and his family. And if you click that, that will take you to this website that Rocky Palumbo has kindly put together that highlights Phil's plight. Now, Phil Volman, I'm proud to say, has become a friend of Elaine and I, a true friend. Elaine speaks to him most days, actually, on Skype. They communicate with each other a lot. And Phil was a pastor in the church in Ohio for 16 years. So he served the church. He was in the American military during the time of the Vietnam War. Him and his wife Linda have taken in disabled children and adopted them as their own. So he's done nothing but good for the world. So Phil was building his Bitcoin pot up so that his family had a legacy nest egg on his demise. And he was doing a firmware update on his Trezor, as these two videos show you, so worth watching. And literally 24 hours later, all of his Bitcoin was gone. So if you click on the family story, that will give you the brief. I scroll up once, there it is, scroll down once, read it in under 5 minutes. When I say a great read, I don't mean that. It's a harrowing read when you see what they've done for society and how bad this was. But it's worth, please do read it. And then obviously there's all the exchanges, the transactions that Phil made to build his Bitcoin stash up, culminating in just at the top of this narrower box, you can see the second line down 14.2 Bitcoin, and then the very top one, 0. Firmer update on his Trezor, all of his Bitcoin gone. I came across Phil August last year, and since then, twice a week on every one of my show, I've promoted Phil's cause and asked people to make a tiny donation. Here's the site. It's on all of the pages. You can click the link that takes you to Tallycoin. You can donate 50 cents, people. $1, $2, all the way up. Make a tiny donation. Phil appreciates every donation, no matter how small. And once we get him to 1 full Bitcoin out of the 14, we're going to do a live show so he can thank all of his donators in person. So back to the tweets that I found. Okay, Samson Mao. This refers to the start of the show. If you can't handle a 1k Bitcoin price drop, you don't deserve 100k Bitcoin. Imagine the emotion when Bitcoin went from 20k to 3k. A 7-fold drop, 70% drop if you want. Imagine when it's 100k, can you cope with 100k Bitcoin that drops to 30k? If you can't, you don't have a strong hand. You need to learn this stuff. This is a really impactful tweet. If you can't handle $1,000 up or down, you're never going to handle a 10 or 15,000 up or down in minutes, like happened recently in Bitcoin. So very, very profound tweet there. And ask yourself the question, how will I feel if Bitcoin hits 100k and then I do nothing and it pulls back to 30? Am I then going to hold through the next 4 years and wait for it to go back to the all-time high of 100k, then maybe go to 500,000 and then pull back to maybe 100k again? If that makes sense. That is the roller coaster and the cycle that us Bitcoin strong-handers are on. And if you want to be part of that, you need to follow shows like mine, Bitcoin Meisters, BTC Sessions, Simon Dixon from the UK. You need to follow people on Twitter like Ansel Lindner. You need to follow people like Vortex, Tone Vase. These are the people you need to follow to build your strong hand. My strong hand has evolved over 3 and a bit years by following these people and learning how to build my strong Bitcoin hand. Danny Scott, here's another good one. I know the Bitcoin price is rising, but this is just the warm-up. We're not scratching 2017 yet. Give it some time. Think about that one. If you can learn the low time preference and wait it out and put money into Bitcoin you could afford to lose, or you can tie up for at least 4 years, and that 4 years will become apparent over the coming tweets, I can tell you. Okay, what we're going to see is the all-time high of 2017, it just pipped 20k for a second, will be revisited, and then Bitcoin will shoot off and potentially 5x that. Well, nobody knows. That's not a price prediction. But if it follows the same pattern as 2012 and 2013 and 2016 and 2017, then 2020 and 2021 should see the same exciting growth. So it's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be in Bitcoin, in my opinion. Anders, I've had him on the show. I'm going to get him back on the show. Sure, Bitcoin is volatile. I sure am glad it is volatile to the upside. If you invest in Bitcoin, always compare the current price to 4 years ago. There is a 4-year Bitcoin cycle, and I get that completely. If you compare a bear market with a recent bull market, you miss the picture. 4 years. So what was the price in May 2016 compared to May 2020? What is the price now compared to 4 years from now? Don't compare a low to a high. Compare prices over 4 years. Very sound advice from Anders, who is very, very bullish that in 2026 we will go into hyper-Bitcoinization, where the world reserve currency becomes Bitcoin. There's an argument for both sides, but Anders is really bullish on that. Dan Held. Now this one is linked to the final one. Stick with me. Bitcoin is priced in for the 0.1% of the world population that understand it. The mere fact that you're on this call right now is, if you don't understand it, you want to. So learn. The other 99.9% aren't paying attention. What happens when they do? Think about that one. So you are, if you're in Bitcoin or on the fringes or on this show learning because you've just got your first $50 worth or whatever, you are part of the 0.1% of the global population. So you are still early. I'm just going to have a sip of this before I bring the next one. Read that again. So what it says is the other 99.9% aren't paying any attention to Bitcoin. Let's look at this final one. Incredible. $2.1 quadrillion of stored value in the world. 21 million, don't read it all, follow me. 21 million Bitcoin with 8 decimal places. Divide the two, and 1 Satoshi equals $1. The quantity of Bitcoin decided on by Satoshi Nakamoto may just be because of this numerical beauty. You just think about that. If $1 was the same value as 1 Satoshi, that would make Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, $100 million in the fiat system. Can you get your head around that? That is why being part of that 0.1% involved right now, you are a Bitcoin pioneer of the future. Stack Satoshis, build up whatever you can, keep doing that through 4 years. My advice, and I found this in a recent tweet on a previous show, and that was, don't buy Bitcoin today and hope to get rich tomorrow. Dollar cost average into Bitcoin for 10 years. Hold Bitcoin for 10 years. And your family will be set financially free for the rest of your days. People, that is very, very profound. So let's have a quote. You know me in quotes. I love to finish with quotes. A great one from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. Isn't that interesting? My strengths have come from dealing with a 2-year bear market. Bitcoin being right down in the pits for 2 years and me dealing with that. And if you can deal with the drop in Bitcoin and not have any emotion around it, just knowing in your heart that you made the right choice, and you know over 4 years it will start to climb again, that is your strength coming from the things you have to deal with that happens over a 4-year Bitcoin cycle. So let's finish again on that. Strength does not come from winning. Your strength comes from dealing with your struggles, to put it another way. And that's the same in life, isn't it? You know, you have a bad marriage, it breaks up awfully, and you're absolutely devastated. But it builds your strength, it builds your persona, your internal suit of armour to deal with what life throws at you. When my dad died suddenly a decade ago, I was totally destroyed, beside myself. The world had come to an end. I didn't think I could ever come back from it. And yet you do. You absolutely do. So I love this quote. to pull the show together. So let me just get me back up to pull it all together. People, thank you for being on the show. I know it's a premiere, but unfortunately, if you've joined us late, that's because we're going to a funeral tomorrow. 4 hours away from our home, so we are travelling as this is going out on premiere. Like I said at the start, hopefully we're in the chat with you all, providing obviously we've got some kind of cellular signal in the car. But I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope it's helped you in some way to build your Bitcoin strong hand. I encourage each and every one of you to set up a process of dollar cost averaging, DCAing, we refer to it if you're new to Bitcoin. I encourage you to set yourself out a 4-year stall, at least a decade if you can. Please like this video, share it, subscribe, bash the bell button so you get notified. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to put my social media links up in a moment to end the show. So do go and follow me on at least one other platform, because as the regulars know, I've already had this channel taken down once by YouTube for no reason. And it could very well happen again, because due to COVID, they've now got not human beings in YouTube's offices. They've got algorithms, machines, and they're throwing people off willy-nilly. If you're following me on another platform, you then know that you'll be able to continue following me. If you're new to this, follow me on UK Bitcoiner. That was the temporary channel I set up when this one went down. So if this one does go down, I can instantly switch straight over and start live streaming. So you're not going to, if you follow me over there, if you subscribe and hit the bell notification, you're not going to get inundated with notifications that I've gone live, because that one's dormant right now unless I need it. Okay, and if this goes down and you can't find me, you can always then go and check that one out to see if my channel has gone down, and you'll find me at UK then a space Bitcoiner. Okay, peeps, thanks for being on. Hopefully, all being well, I'll be back live on Thursday with my regular show at 1800 hours London time. Have a great week, whatever you're doing. I will catch you all on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in, peeps. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button. It keeps us current on YouTube so other noobs can find us. Until then, have a great week. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, signing off. Catch you all on Thursday. See ya.